UN has previously described the Myanmar Army's crackdown as a textbook example of ethnic cleansing. For more, we can speak to the journalist Victoria Milko, who's joining us from Yangon. Victoria, good to speak to you again. Have you got any more detail for us about this attack?
So what reports are saying so far is that there was a Burmese military convoy, about 7 people in a truck, that were struck by explosive devices at 10 a.m. Friday. With limited journalist access at this point, we're still relying on local reporters and also military reports.
And of course, they're blaming the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army. And it's the same group that was blamed all those months ago that led to the mass exodus of the Rohingya to Bangladesh, yes?
Correct. So there was an attack in August that RSF claimed responsibility for that was kind of the catalyst for the clearance operations that then took place by the Burmese military government.
And you call them clearance operations. I mean, there was a policy of sort of scorched earth. They were burning villages and forcing people to cross the border into Bangladesh in the worst circumstances.
That's correct, but the state councillor Aung San Suu Kyi has been quoted several times calling them clearance operations, not ever referring to them as the Scorched Earth campaign. I
mean, clearance operations, in what regard? Clearing them to try and root out the terrorists? What was her reasoning behind these operations?
The reasoning that was given by Aung San Suu Kyi and the Burmese military was to essentially root out ARSA, to remove any kind of threat to what they call Bengali terrorists they were trying to remove. But as we see now, there's been a mass exodus of people, 650,000 people crossing into Bangladesh due to these clearance operations and the burning of these villages.
And what's the current condition of all those people, Victoria? Are they still in Bangladesh? Have any returned home? I know there was an offer for them to come back and sort of all would be forgiven a month or so ago.
There has been discussion of repatriation deals, but so far a majority of the people who fled to Bangladesh are still living there, with still people coming over from the Myanmar border to Bangladesh today. Victoria,
you mentioned Aung San Suu Kyi earlier. How has she sort of come out of all of this? Around the world she's been condemned and there's cause for her to lose a Nobel Prize, but how is she being received in Myanmar?
Well, in the international community, she has been condemned for not speaking out or perhaps not doing enough, as some people would say, in regards to Rohingya rights. There's still a high nationalist sentiment here among locals in Myanmar. So I'd say that her reputation is anything but tarnished here.